So here we go, guys. Let me share my screen. Yeah. So we are at the very first day of our learning, and today we will be learning DOM. Some concept around DOM and some concept which maybe you are little unfamiliar to DOM. So yeah. So directly going on to my VS Code, I have created one sample index.html page, and I'll link one script tag. Yeah. So before jumping onto the DOM, let me first tell you what is a DOM. Before that, I want to hear from you about from your understanding what is DOM. So raise your hands and speak out. Yeah, mine.
DOM is a way to connect the our web page to JavaScript and give the functionality through JavaScript to our static web page. So this I what understand by the
Okay, good. Vishal, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think the full form of DOM is document object model, and DOM provides us several functionality inside the DOM, which we can use to target any individual uh, element with the help of DOM, or we can manipulate them with the help of DOM. DOM's functionality.
Nice. Good. Anyone else? Karan? Yes, yes. You are muted. You are muted.
I just want to add one more points. Okay, so DOM helps the website to be dynamic. So that's the basic work of DOM to make the website dynamic.
Okay. Supriya, give it a try.
Do I also have to explain what is DOM?
Yes, in a very concise way.
Okay, sure. So, in my understanding, firstly, DOM stands for Document Object Model. It simply means that we have to cache the elements or tags which are already present in an HTML document. And through catching those all elements, we give styling, we give, different purposes to particular tags or elements in order to give them functionality which can be which can be taken into work with the user. So, in my understanding, that is true.
Perfect. So obviously, as you guys told, that document DOM full form stands for document object model. It is a simply representation of our whole document. So this is a document, and we can treat it as a object. We can treat it as an object because in JavaScript it basically treated this whole document can be treated as an object, and when we represent our document in a object form, then that whatever model we get as a resultant can be called as document object model. So in simple ways we can say that DOM, which stands for document object model, is a object representation of our document. It also can be called as document DOM tree because it looks like a tree. Whenever we see a object, in object we have one root element. So in this case, the root element is our this doc type HTML, and this is the entry point of our document. And once we get this, after that we can access any of our elements. So today we'll be learning about how you can access elements, how you can manipulate elements, and how you can traverse through our DOM tree. So we have discussed what a DOM tree is. DOM tree is simply can be represented as a document object model, a object representation of a document. Document can be treated as our web page. So in DOM we learn about mostly about DOM manipulation. DOM manipulation means how you can access any DOM element, and how you can manipulate it, how you can style it, how you can traverse along our document object model. So technically, whenever we look at DOM, so this is our document. Currently, we don't have any document, but and this is how a DOM looks like. So as I told you that this document has an entry point, which is this HTML tag, and inside HTML tag we have head tag, we have body tag, And inside body tag, we have different multiple tags like div, script tag. So these tags in HTML terminology, we can call it tag or element. But when it comes to DOM, we call it a node. So technically, it is called node whenever we speak in terms of DOM. So in DOM, elements are basically referred as node. Since we are studying DOM, we will be referring it as node. So there are different kinds of node there. Similarly, as we have in our HTML, we have H1 node, text node, paragraph node, X node, Y node. So those elements can be treated as node in DOM. So next we will be see that how you can traverse along a DOM tree. So as I told you that this is the entry point of DOM. Whenever we get to the root, which is HTML, then after that we can access any of these, just like we access any object keys. Let me create one object first. So let's suppose we have an object called DOM, and in that object I have one key called key, and the value is simply node1, and I need to console this. Yeah, so as you can see, treat that this DOM is representing our whole DOM. Currently it is not, but treat it. So as I told you that in HTML document, the term, or we can say the word document, has this DOM inside it. What do I mean by that? Let me comment this. The word document, this word is a key word in JavaScript, and this keyword inholds or has this all document inside it. It can be treated as a variable. So document is a variable or a reserved keyword inside HTML, which has this whole document inside it. And we can verify actually, if I console log this whole document, which is a reserved keyword in JavaScript, then that thing will give us all the documents. So this is a document, and inside that we can see that our whole web page is being stored. So document is a keyword in JavaScript which holds our whole document. Document is a entry point, and from that entry point we can access any elements, or in case access any node. Document. Now we will traverse around the DOM. So in most of the while studying DOM, we are basically all of the times we will be basically doing three things. We will be traversing along DOM tree, we will be accessing any specific element slash node, or we will be styling any node. So these three major things we will be doing in DOM. Accessing or traversing comes under DOM manipulation. So in DOM, as I already told you, that DOM is a reserved keyword in JavaScript, and this DOM has some methods. So DOM has some methods, and those methods are predefined in JavaScript, and it has some inbuilt methods. So these are the methods to access any DOM node or element. So get element by ID, I guess I don't need to revisit these things, because these things are pretty common. Get element by ID will give you the through this method you can access any ID, access any element by using the element. Similarly, get element by classes will give you a collection of all the element which has the class name that you have mentioned. Similarly, get element by tag name will give you a collection. Again, it will return a collection that you are trying to access using a tag name. Similarly, query selector is another method, and this query selector actually requires one parameter, and the parameter is the query that you give. Query can be a class name or an ID. So if you use query selector and give a class name, this thing will return an array or a collection of all the elements that have the same class name. Similarly, query selector all, this also will give you an array. Sorry, this thing will give you a specific element because it accesses only one element, and this thing will give you an array or a collection of all the elements by the query, like whatever query you have. It could be a class or an ID. So this is how you can access the elements. Now talking about the traversing thing. So for traversing along the DOM, you have these methods. Again, these methods are inbuilt methods which comes with a document keyword. So in document keyword, you have something called parent node. So in any node, let's say you have one node. Let me give it. So here I have div, and here let me give it an ID of parent, and here I will give it an ID of child. So I will grab or I will access this child node. I'm rephrasing, I'm repeating one more time that whenever we talk about DOM, we can call any element, we can refer any element as node, because it is technically good and we should practice technical communication. So I am not calling it an tag, h1 tag or an element. I'm calling it a node. So I'm accessing this node as h1, like let's say heading. So I'm creating a variable called head, and I'm going to document, and then I'm using the get element by id, and I'm passing the id which is child. Now I have got the that node, and I have stored it inside head. So now I will use this parent node method to get what to access the parent. Currently I don't know what the parent is. I'm just trying to access. So I will say that console log, or simply log head dot parent node. So one of the best thing of VS Code that it suggests some methods for us. So I have accepted the suggestion, and suggestion is parent node. I'm trying to access the parent node of head. So if I try to see, it is the parent node actually. So I have just represented, or I have just tried one method. Similarly, you can use other methods as well. Uh, so similarly, you have other methods like child nodes, first child nodes, last node. These the name itself tells about what these methods are doing for you in JavaScript. Similarly, we have some other modern methods called parent nodes, child and first element. So the name itself tells about what these methods are doing. So we have seen about how what is a DOM, how you can access elements using some inbuilt methods, what are nodes, and how you can traverse along the DOM. So currently we have seen that, and now I will ask you some doubts if you have. Yeah, Vishal, you have raised your hands.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, I have one doubt. So yeah, I you as you said that if we use a query selector, so it will only select the first element which comes first.
Mhm.
Okay, and then if we use query selector also, it will select all the elements, uh, whatever we pass in the parameter.
Hmm.
So I know this, and my question is like, if already we have document dot get element by id, get element by class, and get element by tag name. So why we use query selector and query selector all? We can use the
Good,
but the other methods also. Why
good.
we use this?
Nice question. So while creating the JavaScript, we only had those simple methods: get element by ID, get element by class name. So those were uh, in initial stages of JavaScript development. Those things were there, but over the time, developers they got to know aware of other tools as well. So they introduced these modern methods like query selector and query selector alls. So over the time development happens, and we got to know other things which works well and which works better. So obviously there will be some tools which are there which is already doing the same things which we want, but over the time of period we will introduce, or developers will introduce all other better methods or latest methods which does the same things, but those things are like used more by the users or by the developers. So this is kind of same thing. These two things are doing the same thing, but these are the way better methods. Like the background processes or background working of these things are more better than the previous methods. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Amit.
So we have seen manipulation. We have seen the common methods in JavaScript or which document offers us, and we have seen how you can also traverse along the DOM using these methods. So again, reiterating the same thing, using these methods, traversing methods, specifically used for traversing, you can traverse in forward, in backward, select multiple specific elements. So you can traverse by using these things. So we have done traverse. We have accessed a particular element. We have accessed DOM as well. Now we can see how you can use these nodes for event handling. So in JavaScript, we know that there are events which we use for DOM manipulation. We have click event, we have hover event, we have on focus event. Similarly, we have other events in JavaScript. So by dynamically, let's say you have these document, let's say you have a particular document, and in that document, you want to trigger one specific event on a specific let's say you want to specify a one element, and on that element, if a specific event occurs, you want a specific tasks to get executed. So for that, in JavaScript, we have events. And since document is the entry point of your whole document, of your whole web page, so you will again use this document in your code. So you will access a particular node using document. So I'm accessing one node called one node by document method document, and then I'm gonna get the first, let's say, heading node. That heading node, so document.get element by ID. So I have accessed those things, access that node, that, oh, sorry, it is child node, no, child node. And then I'm going to add one event. So to add one event, you first need to specify the node that on which you are going to add one event. So node 1 is the one thing that I'm going to add event to, and that I'm going, and then I will write add event listener. So add event listener is a method, again a method which takes two things. First is the event. So what is the event? Event can be click, it can be hover, it can be focus, pause, anything according to the node. So I want that whenever we click on this node, I want a specific things to happen, and that specific thing you need to specify in a function. So the second parameter is going to be a function. It could be any function, a predefined function, or an arrow function, or an anonymous function. So I'm declaring one anonymous function here. Function, or just to make things simple, I'll just declare this function outside. Function do something. Console log, task done. And here I will need to pass this function. So function was do something. So this is a simple syntax of adding event to a specific node. Now, how you will communicate this one line to a developer? So as I told you that try practicing technical communication. So here the communication will be like on node 1, we have one event handler. So this is the event handler, and the event is click event. So click event is going to execute this task or this function. So we have, this is the event, this is the event handler, and this whole thing is a method. So on node 1, we have add event listener method, where we have where we have passed one event called click event, and this is the event handler. Good, nice. And if I try to execute this thing, so let's see if I try to get this. What was the heading? Okay, heading was document. So if I try hitting document, I will get task done. Again hit click, again task done. Again hit this, again task done. So here we can see a simple representation of how you can execute a task or execute events on a specific event. So yeah, I will ask any doubt. Yeah, Vishal, ask your doubt.
Yeah, so actually my doubt is like as you said that what is node one? So I think node one is a pre-decided ob what uh, object.
No, here node one is a simple variable. Node, I
Oh, so
just
sorry,
name it
sorry,
node one.
variable,
Yes.
variable. And then you first you fetch child, and
Hmm.
then you make a function, do something, and then you add event listener. What is this? Like a method.
Hmm. Add event listener. Whenever, acha, how you can see, how you can tell which something is a method or not. So see, whenever something I mean, whenever you see something like any keyword, after that you see this parenthesis. So directly determine that this thing is going to be a method. This is a simple way of distinguishing a method from other functions. Functions are executed like this. Function as are executed like this, do something and then parenthesis. But whenever you see this same syntax after something else, let's say document is a variable or it could be any keyword, and after that you have this same thing, then this is a method. So here add event listener is a method. Yeah,
And what
Vishal.
is click? Click is a parameter.
Click.
I mean, there is two parameters you pass. One is click, and
Good.
second one is function. So what is click?
Yeah, here click is a event. So add event listener basically takes two parameter. First parameter is always going to be event, which event you want. It is a click event or focus event or hover event. So click is a event, and second one is the event handler. Like whenever this event occurs, what do you want to do? If and here I have do something as an event handler. Whenever click occurs, I want do something to handle it. So whenever click happens, do something will execute.
Yeah, got it, sir.
Good, nice. Karan. Hmm.
Saying कि you gave that do something function in a parameter, okay, but why didn't you call it? Like for calling, we need brackets na in front of it.
Okay, good. Nice observation. So in background, like JavaScript developers wrote this method in such a way that it knows that first parameter is going to be event and second parameter is going to be the name of the event handler. Only the name. It
Function of the
yeah,
function.
yeah. Just
Okay,
pass the
okay.
name and add event listener will handle it. Add event
So
listener.
what will happen if we just add some bracket in front of it?
Okay, if I add one bracket, then it will automatically execute it. It will not wait for you to click onto the thing.
Okay, 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 okay.
So it will even invoke it there and there, then and there, without waiting you to
Okay,
click on
okay.
this that thing. And yeah, so you can change the content as well as the styling of the node, any node. So now we will try to change the style. So for the style, I will go to the style object, sorry, style attribute. So node one is going to give me that element, and after that, in that element, I have style uh, attribute, and in that style attribute, I have different style properties. So whatever style property you use in CSS, those style properties will be available inside this style attribute. So let's say I want to change the color, so I will write color and assign it to something like green. So till this point, everything is expected. But after when JavaScript hits this line, so here it we have defined that we need node one, and then go to the node one style attribute and change the color of that property. Now the color is green. Thank you so much. So if I try to check this now, we can see that the style got applied and we can see the green color. So this is how you can change the inner content or the style as well. Here I have demonstrated only the green. It could be any style. Take literally any style you can manipulate using JavaScript. Isn't it cool? Ha, ha, ha. So let's see what we have next. Create element, append element. Okay, so create element itself, we can see that create element will literally create one element. I guess you have used it in your courses as well. So I will write new element and I will use document dot create element. Again, document dot create element is a method which will create one new element, one new node. And to decide which kind of node you want, which kind of element you need to specify it inside this parenthesis. So you need to specify, let's say I want one paragraph tag. So here this line will create one paragraph element and store it in new element. I should name it new node because we are currently studying document. So in document, all the elements are referred as node. So new node, this will create one element, and now the element has created, but we haven't used that element. We have the element, but we haven't used it. So to append the element, newly created element, we will use this new keyword called append child. So let me use this. So I want to append it to this div, currently to this div. This div has two childs. One is this heading tag. Second is this UL tag. But after this tag, I want P tag here. So what I will use, I will first grab this parent tag. So let me see if I have grabbed it. No, I haven't grabbed it. So first I will grab the parent tag by document dot get element by ID. I will write parent. So now I have the parent tag and I will append it inside parent tag. So I need to I want to add the parent, and on the parent I need to use this method called append child. And this append child will take only one parameter called whatever element you want to append. So my new node I want to append to the parent, so new node. Now this line will make sure that whatever parent you has, this whatever children you have, this children got appended to the parent. So now if I try to see the DOM, yeah, I have the element here, but currently I don't have the contents. That's why I'm not able to see it, but you can verify it here. Go to elements tag and go to body. Inside body, you have this parent tag, and inside parent tag, I'm expecting UL H1 tag and that newly appended P tag. So if I try to see, we have the H1 tag, we have the UL tag, and after that, we have this P tag. As I hover, you can see the shaded area here. So it got appended. So this was all about append child. So jumping on to the next, changing elements attribute. So attributes are those things which you introduce inside an opening tag. So like classes, IDs, sources, hrefs, and other things are attributes. And by using document, we can change those attributes in runtime. What did I meant by saying that? Let's say I have parent, and inside parent, I already have one attribute. What is that attribute? I have this ID attribute. So I already have this ID attribute. I wanted to introduce another attributes inside parent. So for that, what I will do, I will use what set attribute. Set attribute. What was the syntax? Set attribute. It is the syntax. Set attribute, and now pass the attribute. Here you will give the attribute name, like let's say if you want to change the class name, so pass the attribute, and here you need to set the attribute value. So what class you want to set? So let's say I will set a class, parent class, let's say. So before this line, parent has only one attribute called ID. But after this line, whenever JavaScript hits this line, it know that I need to set some more attributes. So it will accept one more attribute. It will say, okay, I need to change class, and the new class is parent class. So here, if I try to log the parent and see what attributes it has, so we will see it here. Console. Again, I need to remove those brackets. Yeah. So I have that node, but in DOM form. I don't want it in DOM form. I want it at that, yeah, like this. So I have console that div tag, that parent div tag, and here I can see that it has now another attribute. Currently, previously had one attribute called ID, and now after that line, I have introduced another attribute called class, and the value is parent class. So this was how you can use set attribute and set attribute, and how you can manipulate or play with attributes. You can change pre-existing classes to another classes. Let's say currently I have a parent class as class, but in runtime, let's say in future, I want that class to be changed. So I can do that as well. In runtime, I can have some events that literally going to change the class name. So let's say I have one button, and on that button I will add one event listener. Whenever I click on parent, or whenever that button got clicked, I want another class to get introduced onto this parent. So this also can be done using document. So this was how you can change the attributes, and how you can create new
I have
element.
a question. I have a
Hmm.
question. Wait.
Okay.
I was asking set attribute is basically used when we want a same style sheet or something like same CSS we want in
Hmm.
different content. So it is basically used for that, na?
Good,
Like
nice.
if we give a style to a particular ID or something, and we are creating another element with the help
Hmm.
of JS, and we want the same style in it also. So we just use set attribute with the class and all the things. If
Good.
we
You must
want
have,
this,
yes, you must have this implement. You must have watched this
implemented.
implementation.
Yes,
Yes, good,
that's why I
nice.
am asking. You
Yes.
explain in different way, na? So I got
Hmm.
confused. That's why I am asking.
Yeah. Similarly, I want to explain that as well. So let's say you have one active class, and in that active class, you have predefined styles. So you want only that you want that style to be implemented on a particular element. So you just set the class of that element by using set attribute, and once you set the class, since you have that style written on your CSS, so that styles will get added to that node. So this is the practical implementation of how you can use set attribute. Good, nice. So after that, I guess I have covered all the things. Create element, append child, insert before. Yeah. So
I have one more question. Basically, there is a container. Okay, it is a container present here. Okay, and we want to append like full body. Like imagine there is full body of a thing, and inside it we want a container. Okay, and we want to append each and everything there. But we don't want to append it by like I want to append it from lower to top, not top to bottom. So that's my question. Can it possible? It is possible or not?
हिंदी में बताओ.
ओके, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ जैसे मुझे अपेंड करनी है कोई चीज, ठीक है। अब मैं उसे टॉप से बॉटम में नहीं करना चाह रहा अपेंड, मतलब वो टॉप से बॉटम में ना हो अपेंड, मैं चाह रहा हूँ वो बॉटम से टॉप में हो। तो ऐसा हो सकता है?
Okay, what I got is that you want to append some elements inside parent, and
हाँ
you want to append. Let's say you appended this element. Now, second time when you append, you want the
हाँ
second item to be appended at the top of the first element.
हाँ, राइट
Okay.
राइट, दैट्स माय
Yes,
क्वेश्चन।
yes, you can do that as well.
हाउ?
Okay, that the method we have shown here, seen here, like insert before.
इंसर्ट
You can
बिफोर?
use insert, maybe,
ओके,
maybe.
सेम
I
थिंग एज अपेंड चाइल्ड,
I haven't used it
बस
actually,
इंसर्ट
but
बिफोर।
maybe it works the same, and it can be done.
हाँ,
I mean, there are
ट्राई वंस।
methods. There are methods that you can use.
ट्राई
If I
वंस
try
ना।
to use it, insert before. Yeah, let's see. So what I will do, parent. I don't know the syntax now. Let's see. Insert
डॉट
before.
इंसर्ट बिफोर
So it says
और
that it accepts one node and one child node. So let's say the new node is one node that we want to append, and the second is insert before what? So before, let's say, p tag. Okay, p tag is our let's say heading. Heading or child?
what is the name of, हाँ, child was the name we gave
Node.
to
Sorry, node
heading.
one.
A node child.
Yeah. I don't know will it work or not, but let's see.
Let's see.
Okay, what was we expecting? Currently, parent has
Just comment all the things which are not needed, na?
we want new node, we want parent, we want parent appended. It already appended. We have appended
हाँ
new
तो
node,
it
and and after that we wanted this thing. Now I want node 1 to be appended before new node. So new node is p tag, and node 1 is this child tag. Okay, no, we can't do that, because for that we need to create another node 2, let's say.
make new node.
Document dot create element, let's say h2 tag.
And just give it something text
Hmm.
container or something like that. Give it something.
So node 2 dot inner text is equals to, let's say,
Sample text.
yeah, lorem.
Lord.
So I want to append
Okay.
node 2 before node 1. So
Okay.
node 1 is the child,
Child.
and node 2 is that thing. Okay, now I can
Right.
see parent. Yes, good.
हाँ हो गया ठीक है.
Nice.
Got it.
Okay, so insert before, insert after भी होता होगा ऐसे करके.
Insert
Insert
after तो
after
वो तो
is
save
the,
append हो गया
yeah,
ना, वो तो
is
append
the
child ही हो गया.
default behavior of append. Nice, good. So similarly, we have different methods that you need to look
तो
forward,
इसके अंदर पहले हमको वो वाला देना है, मतलब जो हमें अपेंड
which
करना है,
is,
मतलब एक
yeah,
तरीके से.
which is
हाँ,
exists
और
there.
उससे किससे पहले करना है अपेंड, वो उसके बाद देना करेंगे.
Hmm.
ठीक है, ओके.
Yes,
ठीक है,
new
clear.
node and appending node. So we have discussed all these things regarding creating, modifying, creating new elements, how you can set attributes, and we have talked about fragment, but we haven't discussed much because we are unaware how to use it. We will see it in our near future. We saw events. Events were the most interesting part, I guess, and traversing. So along with this thing, there are a lot of new methods that we haven't used and we haven't discussed. Those things we will get to know as the need will arise, because needs gives the rise of invention. So when the need arises, we will get to know other things and we will use it. So with this thing, I will conclude the meet for today, day 1. With this, I'm AK signing off.
KC also here.